Hi folks, this is going to be a short video. I just want to outline my uh, EcoFlow Delta Pro system here. I've got the smart panel, which right now it's got both ports running, and I'm using 9 out of the 10 circuits. 9 circuits power almost everything in my house. It doesn't do the heat pump and it doesn't do the well pump because they're 220 loads. Now I can pull inside the panel, there's a module, you can pull it for split phase because I have 2 units and it'll make 220 for those things. But when I do that, the legs don't balance automatically and I have to watch what I draw on each leg, and I have the modules to do that in a power outage, so I can take 2 of the modules out and put those modules in. That process will take about 20 minutes or half an hour, and then if I lose power for a considerable amount of time, I can do that, and then I can have my well pump. For now, no matter if I plug 1 or 2 banks in, it'll draw everything evenly. Panel's kind of a rat's nest. I gotta neaten it up, but very easy. Everything in here is plug and play. The wires come with clips on them. Each module each clip plugs into its corresponding module. You screw the module down, so whatever circuit, like here's a circuit I did, right? So I took the breaker off, I took the wire off the breaker, and I put the red, which is the input from EcoFlow, onto the breaker. And then I took the corresponding black wire and I spliced it to the wire I took off the breaker. And it's that simple. I'll repeat that 10 times for 10 circuits. And panel installation. There's my 220, my 2-pole 30 amp. It splits it in here and puts 130 to there and 130 to there. That's what I use to recharge the Delta Pro. Right here I have, this one's on solar. So currently it's partly cloudy. I'm taking in 600 and fluctuating 600-ish watts of solar, and output is 876 watts. So what's happening is roughly half the solar, well actually less than half the solar, is going over here to the battery, and the panel figures that out, how it balances it. The rest is going to the house. This unit, this side, is just in standby right now, and there's no solar hook to it, so there's nothing going out of it. Here's the app. So this shows my grid use 0 because I've got it programmed for this time. We're on a time of day program with the power company, so it goes down considerably after 8 o'clock at night. And so 7 o'clock in the morning, when it switches over to the expensive rate, I have this program to come online. And then it'll run the batteries down to wherever it does, depending on the usage. And then at night, between midnight and 7, I recharge the batteries. So that's what the house is using right now, and all of it is coming off the batteries. What happens is this does this automatically too. It balances them, right? So you can see right now the flow is coming from this bank, which is the bank that the solar panels are hooked to over here. So I'm bringing in the solar, putting some of the solar to the spare battery, and putting the rest to the house. Once this draws down below that, so it's at 67% now. Once it gets down somewhere below 64, it'll flip over and it'll run off this bank. So that way there, it goes back and forth all day long and it draws the batteries down fairly equally. So what I've got here is I've got 2 Delta Pros, one and one over there. Each one has a spare battery. So it's 14,400 watts. And so that runs the majority of my house all day long, during that peak time. Now the app shows the circuits. So right now there's the dehumidifier in the basement that's running 652. The freezers in the basement is running 65. My fridge upstairs is running 91, and everything else is quiet. I got my kitchen circuits, the bedroom, the ones we use, right? Now here's an interesting thing. This is my data dashboard. I love this feature right here. It shows the corresponding circuits. So this is interesting because they're not numbered, they're not named, right? But that's circuit 1, microwave, circuit 2, refrigerator. This is a problem I have. This is today's usage. The dehumidifier in the basement amounts 46% of the usage. And so, long story short, the system is working flawlessly. The app, however, leaves a real lot to be desired. I have no control over my log. Here's my log. When I hit it, it just refreshes and comes up to nothing. So it doesn't keep I have no records of my log. I don't know, it's something in the app, right? And here I have the circuits numbered, circuit 1, circuit 2, but I should be able to name them, like microwave, refrigerator. When I go into the app, it allows me to type in the name, but when I save it, it reverts back to circuit 1. Now on my phone, I had one EcoFlow for a couple years, and I just bought the rest of this last week. So the app on my phone has an older version of the app, and it allows me to name the circuits, but it doesn't do it on the newer version, which is here on the tablet. But neither one of them holds my log data. And so I called EcoFlow, and they said that this is the newest updated app, which makes sense because I got it with the new gear. That was the one they gave me went on their website. It was the newest app version. And so it leaves a lot to be desired. It really does. There's several flaws in it, and EcoFlow told me that basically there's nothing they could do. I have to just wait for the new version, and hopefully it'll solve some of those issues, that they're ongoing problems. And the new version, whenever it comes out, they don't know when. It could be tomorrow, it could be next year. So that's kind of a bummer, because it's an important interface, and it would be nice to have that. Although I have most of the features I need. Really, not being able to name the circuits isn't that important, because I just got them committed to memory, and I use, like, obviously that one's got a picture of a microwave, so I know it's the microwave, the fridge, the lights upstairs, kitchen outlets, bedroom, furnace, dehumidifier. So, and I got one, that circuit 9, I drew a picture, I got the picture of the icon of the basement. It's the freezers in the basement, and 10 is not being used. So that's not a huge deal. Would I like to name them? Sure, I would. They're named on my phone, again, on the older app, so I don't know why they lost that in the newer version. But I would like to have access to the logs. It's not super important, but it, like for instance, it charges overnight. I want to answer the question, what time at night, in the middle of the night, did they stop charging? Did they reach full charge? And I can't answer that, because unless I'm awake to see it happen, I have to revert back to my log, and it should show me, switched over to battery backup, switched to charge, whatever. So it tells you all the events. And again, just blank. All right. But like I said, the system itself works flawlessly, and it's unbelievable the amount of technology that's in that panel. So it wires just like a Gentran. For anybody who ever wired a 6, 8, 10 circuit, whatever Gentran, It wires the same. You take the wire off the breaker, you feed, the breaker feeds power, you take the wire that you took off the breaker and put it on the load side. With a Gentran, you have to, it's all or nothing, right? You fire up the generator, you switch it over, all 10 of those circuits go to the generator. You have nothing else. Any other circuits that are outside of those 10 circuits in here will not run, because when you go over to the generator, you kick the house power off, and it would run all 10 of the Gentran, or 8 or 6 or whatever you have. On here, it allows me to go in on these circuits. I can go in here and I can turn any circuit I want, right? So like there's the fridge. I can go here, it's on auto mode, which controls by a schedule. I can turn that off, and I can choose use grid power, use battery power, or shut the circuit completely off. I've got it programmed on a schedule, so I just leave it on automatic, and right now it's on use battery because it's the time of day where I'm using the batteries, and at night it'll switch over. But it allows me to go in and to control each circuit individually. And while I'm running one or all 10 of these on battery, all the rest of my circuits that aren't controlled by that are still running on house power. And that is something a Gentran system will not do. So there's a lot of technology in that panel, and I'm very happy with the system and the way it works. It balances down, it draws the two sides down fairly equally, and I've got a lot of control. I'm just not completely happy with the app. That's the only critique I would have of it. And I was a little disappointed. They're supposed to have award-winning customer service and tech support, and their answer, there's a little bit of a language barrier. But when you finally get through to them, when you finally are able to communicate with them, the answer was, you'll just have to wait until the new update comes out, and hopefully that issue will be addressed. And again, no idea when that's going to be. So, I mean, I could be waiting a year. I could be waiting 5 years. I don't know. I'm thinking it's going to, hopefully, if people are having this problem and reporting it, they got engineers working on it and they'll update the app. We'll see. Other than that, other than the app, I'm completely happy with the system. It works flawlessly, and it's going to save us a lot of money because I'm charging these at night when we're on the super cheap rate from the power company, and running almost everything I have when we're on the most expensive rate during the day. And I've only run it, this is the third day. I've got it set up and got it where I want it. So at the end of the month, when I get my new bill, I'll make an update video. I made a solar rack on a trailer that I can move around, and I'm going to show you that in a future video. Thanks for watching. God bless you.